Well, hey, everybody, and welcome back to the One More Thought podcast here at Church on the Rock. If this is your first time tuning in, my name is Heath, and I have the honor and privilege of being the lead pastor here at Church on the Rock. And this podcast is designed to go a little bit deeper from the sermon that we preached on Sunday at Church on the Rock, and an opportunity to visit with some other people. And so, as always, if you tune into this podcast, like and share and subscribe, comment below. Tell me how your holidays went, whatever you want to do, just to know that you're engaging as a community. And so today I'm super excited about this podcast. Some of my very dear friends that I haven't known crazy long, just, I don't even know, 5 years,
yeah.
5 years, 6 years.
Yeah.
But man, they have come so near and dear to my heart. Scott and Tiffany Hicks serve on our board of elders. They're part of Church on the Rock, and they are just some of the most amazing people that I know. And so, how are you guys doing today? This is your first One More Thought podcast. How does it feel?
Yes.
We're excited.
You're
Yeah,
excited?
to be here for sure.
Yeah.
You're setting the bar pretty high when you say you're high up there.
Yeah,
So.
no, you are, man.
Lower expectations.
Yeah, I actually got to know Scott around the time that I stepped into the lead pastor role here at Church on the Rock, and Scott leads an amazing men's Bible study on Tuesday morning here at Church on the Rock, and Wednesday, and then Kelsey and Tiffany got to know each other, and we kind of all got to know each other. And these guys have a heart for people. They have a huge heart for the Lubbock Dream Center, which is really, really cool. And today we're talking about, here's the topic. We're in our sermon series called Join the Journey, and we're spending about 6 weeks really diving into what does it look like to be a follower of Jesus. And so we've taken, the first 2 weeks we really focused on love God, and then we focused on love people, and now we're kind of in the part of our sermon series where we're focusing on living life to the full. And today what we get to talk about that I think is going to be really cool is we get to talk about how followers of Jesus make a difference in other people's lives. And when we started talking about this, you guys were two of the first names that came up, because I have watched you guys just make an impact in other people's lives. And so, Tiffany, I'm going to ask you, when you think about all this, and we'll talk about some of the ways here in a minute, but as you and Scott, how long have you guys been married?
Been married almost 31 years.
Almost 31 years. Is this something new to you guys, or is this just kind of always been kind of y'all's heart in your marriage to just make a difference in people's lives, make people's lives better, bless people? Just tell me, when did this all start for you guys?
Mm-hmm. I think it's been a journey, and we've grown more towards doing that. My heart personally has always been towards people, and I'm really interested in people. But as we've grown together in our walk with the Lord, we just see the importance of just pouring into others' lives, and that's really the most important thing.
Yeah, that's very cool. Very cool. Scott, what do you think?
To be honest, when we got married, I was farming, and I was perfectly happy to be on the tractor by myself.
Yeah.
And God just called us out, to do what His Word says, to go make disciples, to love people well. Yeah. And He brought us, from small little Asbuddy to Lubbock, in business. But I think it was much bigger than just business.
Yeah.
It was His calling on our life to be a part of ministries and to be a part of people's lives, that we could come along beside them, encourage them, and walk with them in that journey. So
I love that.
But my nature is, small town, be by myself. But, God's called us out of that. So.
Yeah.
I have seen that huge with him. He did. He just preferred to be, when we would go to Lubbock and, do Christmas shopping, whatever, he didn't really want to. He much preferred to be at home. He'd be like, there's too many people around.
Yes.
And now he gravitates towards everyone. He knows way more people in any room than I do. And so it's been cool to see
crazy.
how God changes us toward,
Yeah, it is. It is really cool. And I think when you start seeing the impact that God makes on people's lives, and sometimes it's through us, it does get exciting. It gets you almost grow this hunger for it. Man, I really enjoy this. Like, I get a lot of life out of helping other people. And so, and I know you guys, I just know from my talks with Scott, you guys are coming out of a season where you've been helping your girls a lot. You've been helping your daughters a lot. You got 3 daughters. Tell us, I had this question. I talked to you guys before this. I would like to know, I've got a senior in high school and she's about to leave the house. And so my question is, talk about what it looks like now that your girls are out of the house. What does it look like to make a difference in your kids' lives when they're not at your house anymore? So tell us about your family, and then just kind of tell us what you guys see for your girls and how you're able to help and make a difference in their lives.
I would just say, we've got 3 daughters. They're like you said, they're all grown. Our oldest is like 30, down to our youngest is about to be 25, I think, in April. So, and one in the middle there at 27. So, get your Kleenexes ready. I will tell you that, because the journey it's interesting, to walk, but it's so rewarding, right? Because it's so rewarding to know that, like Scripture says, when you train up a child in the way they should go, they won't depart far from it, right? And so we've got to walk that journey out with our girls. We've gotten to see, them come into their own relationship with the Lord and not be our relationship as a family, or mine and Tiffany's relationship, and they're kind of coattailing along. They're on their own relationship. And absolutely the most rewarding journey of your life is to see your kids doing well with the Lord. I mean, I don't know anything better. And, I could get emotional easily just talking about that, but, we have some distance between us and our youngest daughter. She lives in New York City now, but to see her thriving, and God, one of my favorite attributes of God is, I like to say, is the great connector. And so I've got a friend that started a church there in the Bronx, and so she's been able to connect with them, and she's just thriving, right? And so our middle daughter's doing well, about to get married this summer. Our oldest daughter works with us and help raising a little boy that she's fostered. So I mean, to see all of their, just their attributes and the things that God has put in their hearts come to life is, hugely rewarding. And I'll let you speak into that.
Yes, I think things we put in place to kind of, it's almost like the time is more quality, because you're not having to figure out all these things for their day-to-day. They're responsible for that. So then we try to set up family dinner pretty often and just reach out to them by phone or whatever and talk to them, even if it's just for a few minutes. But it's kind of almost more special. Not that it wasn't special when they were home, but it's like we know our time's limited with them now. And so we're just really appreciative of it and grateful for it, and thankful that they still want to come around and be in our lives, and so thankful.
Amen. That is like my prayer. Lord, please let them want to still come around when they get older. Because it really is cool. Like I've met one of or 2 of your daughters. I haven't met the third one, but to even watch kind of that just what you guys have instilled in them. Like, I think of your daughter in New York, and I don't know that I've met her or not, but she's doing this stewardess thing where she's flying planes all over the country, and she's literally helping people. She's literally making a difference in people's lives, and it's an exciting adventure. And you guys have driven all over the country trying to get the car from here to there. And every time I call Scott, he's like, "Man, I'm on the road. I'm over here. I'm over here." And so I think that's really cool. Scott, I want to ask you real quick, because we've got several people that have businesses, run businesses, are part of businesses. What does it look like for you, or what are your thoughts about making a difference in the lives of the people that are working for you, that you've employed?
It's such a blessing.
Yeah.
I mean, I like to say, seldom in life do we get the opportunity to have automatic influence in people's lives.
Yeah.
But as a business owner, you have influence.
Yeah.
Now, what we do with it is our responsibility, how we treat people, how we bring them along. And, I always tell my employees, look, I'm not going to cram what I believe down your throat, but I'm going to live it out loud.
Yeah.
And I will pray with you. I'll come along beside you. And I want this for you, but I'm not going to push it on you.
Yeah.
And, how they receive that is up to them. But they know the overlying thing is God first in our life, right? And in our business. And when I feel like I've failed at that at times, when there's too much distance between me and maybe some of my employees, I feel that distance and I want to fix it. Does that make sense? And I want to be all that God wants me to be in that relationship, just like in any other relationship. But again, seldom do we get to have automatic influence. It's such a cool thing in business to have that. And it's a big responsibility, I think, that we can overlook pretty easily. Yeah.
And then you always say something in the Bible study, and I love this. We have influence. We have the opportunity to make an impact. We have the opportunity to gain trust. But the saying is trust is gained by the spoonful and lost by the bucketful. Mm-hmm. And you've talked several times in the men's Bible study about what to do when you have that influence and you make a mistake, because you want to make a difference in people's lives, and then you have an off day or you're having a bad day, you make a mistake, you say something that you shouldn't have said. Yeah. And man, you talk so clearly about that in the Bible study about what like, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. So, we're trying to build, as believers and Christ followers, we're trying to build our spiritual reputation, right? And so you start that journey, and it may be with a group of people or it may be with one person. Yeah. But as we do that, it's like our story and our life is telling a story quietly as you go along. Yeah. And then, a crux moment happens in life, something comes against you, you're squeezed. Yeah. That reaction screams, this is who I really am. Yeah. And so you can lose every bit of gain that you've had in that person's life in a reaction versus how your actions have spoken. And so, it's so important. I just like to emphasize that as we talk to men and try to bring people along in this journey together is, look, people are watching, right? You have an impact. You have a sphere of influence. Now, as Christ followers, I believe that's supposed to grow. It's not supposed to stay small. Yeah. It's supposed to get bigger because we're supposed to be about the Father's business in all ways. But whatever it is, if it's 2 people or 200 people or 1,000 people, whatever it is, we need to take that responsibility seriously and think about our reactions. Yeah. Right. And be ready because Jesus said, in this world you're going to have trials and tribulation. Right. But don't stop there and just say, good luck. Thank goodness Jesus didn't say, good luck with that. Exactly. He said, I have overcome this world, right? Be of good cheer. So good. And so in our response to the problems is where our ministry can just unfold in front of someone. Yeah. And you don't even know that you're doing it but God is watching and they're watching, and He will bless because of your reaction. Yeah, I love that. I don't know if that's where you wanted to go with that.
Yeah, no, it's really good. The other thing that you say that I think is so good is you say, when you address it with them, hey, I messed up. You say, this is not the person that I'm trying to be. This is not the person that I am. This is not the person that I'm trying to be. And just really owning it really quick, I think is so important.
That's so true. The ownership of, when, again, we're trying to build that spiritual reputation. If somebody's watching and I mess up and I just say, well, that's not who I am. That's not really, I mean, you're lying. Yeah. They just watched who you were. Yeah. And so, to take that ownership and say, now I want to be a true Christ follower and I want to be a man of God, but I messed up here. Yeah. And so that's not the man I want to be. I want to be true to what I've talked about, what I'm trying to live out in front of you. Yeah. And, but ownership is important, And
I just love how much when we own things, when we're trying to make difference and we mess up and we own things, I think people just give you a lot of grace when you own it. Like, I think people are just waiting for you to own it. And so, Tiffany, we were talking about this before the podcast. One of the greatest stories in the Bible, and you brought it up, about making a difference, were the 4 guys carrying this paralyzed guy to Jesus. There's people get wind that Jesus is coming to this house, and it says that everybody goes there, and these guys go get their friends. They can't get them to Jesus. When you think about that story, what encouragement would you give everybody as you think about that, about being a friend who makes a difference in someone's life? Mm-hmm.
Yes, I think in that story, what always I think about the most is that we don't really know, the way I've read it, that the guy who's the paralyzed man has asked them to do that. We don't know whether he did that, but he was probably vulnerable with them at some point in time, and it's like, I hate this. I want to, be better. But in spite of all that, the friends went and got him. I mean, they, instead of running towards Jesus, like you brought up that everybody did, they're like, our friend needs Jesus. And so that's just, to me, loving sacrificially and just being there and thinking outside yourself, looking how you can be a blessing. And they had to, it was a feat to probably get him up there and then lower him down in the roof 100%. And just looking towards others and leaning in towards others and thinking about people more than yourself, I think is beautiful in that story.
Yeah, I think it's so good. And that's an example of a really big thing to do that's making a difference in somebody's life. When you think about just your everyday life, just going through all the things that you're doing, checking all the things off the list, what do you think are just some small things that really make a difference in people's lives? Can you give us a couple that just come to your mind?
I think just taking time to listen, just in your everyday interacting at the grocery store or with people like that. I think just leaning in towards listening, asking them a question. I remember during COVID, and I heard the Lord say this so clearly, everything was about isolating, taking a step back, keeping distance between you and people. And I remember during that time, God so clearly said, you need to lean in and towards people and love big. And so that, to me, we're always rushing in our lives and trying to get this done quickly and to actually just to slow down,
so good,
look at someone in the face and ask them a question and just see them, I think.
Yeah. That's
huge.
So good. I think that's a long lost art. I think most people, they're either rushing too fast to sit and listen to someone, or as they're listening to someone, they're thinking about what they want to say next. They're thinking about what their next thing is, and they're not truly. I've found, and I'm not great at this, my wife she's amazing at it. She can usually pick something out of something I'm saying that I'm really not saying, but she's listening in a way that she's like, maybe it's this, or maybe it's that, and maybe it's this. And I think that is a gift that we have lost in our society. We're so busy to say the next thing. We're so busy to move on to the next thing. And so that's a great one. Just taking the time to listen. And so I want to close with this. And this is a question that's near and dear to me. Like I said, I met you guys about 5 years ago. When I was in college, I went to Paradigm every Thursday night. And John Randall was the pastor back then, the speaker back then, and we would pack that place out. I mean, there would be so many college students, there would be so many people. And so when I met you guys, you had mentioned to me that John was your pastor, and I was like, oh dear God, I'm like, man, this guy is like, he impacted my life so much with his teachings. Like, he was so good at it. And as I was praying this morning, this may feel weird, but I just thought, man, you guys knew him very well. Scott, you've told me several stories about spending time with him. And I think my question as we wrap up today is, what do you think John would say about all this? What do you think John would say about making a difference in people's lives? And so that's my question for you. I just want to know what you think he'd say.
John was a very good friend of mine. I got to spend, the last years of his life, I got to spend a lot of time with him and learned so much from him and his disciple-making methodology. And he loved, putting Christ in the center. John Troutman has a discipleship called the Navigator Wheel. And John loved to teach that. But it's all about putting Christ the center in me. If I put Christ the center in me and I'm focused on who he is and what he has for me, then I'm going to spread it to others.
Yeah.
And John would always say, change the room, wherever you're at. I
had a T-shirt that it said change the in white. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you. And then it said room in blue. Right. And we would wear those everywhere. So go ahead.
So, he taught that so well, and it was such a cornerstone of his whole ministry.
Yeah.
But when you think about that and you think about what it means to us, where we go matters. I mean, how we walk into a room, how we carry ourselves, how we show the love of Christ, like Tiffany was talking about. All of that matters.
Yeah.
And so, that is, it has been such a pivotal thing for she and I as we've walked this journey, together, is just to understand that where we're at, wherever God plants us, wherever that is, right, to change the room. And I've appreciated that about his ministry in our lives. And anyway, thanks for bringing that up.
So good, man. Yeah, no, he impacted my life so much as a college kid. I was not making good decisions, but man, I did not miss a paradigm because he was just such a good communicator.
Yeah.
And so, man, thank you guys so much. This has been amazing. I love you guys dearly. I love your family. I have some of probably the most, I don't want to say deep, but Scott, man, when we talk the Bible, it's some of my favorite conversations because you always give me a perspective and a different angle. And so, man, I just appreciate you guys being on this journey with us.
Yeah.
Man, I appreciate you guys. If you're watching, I want you to know this. I think what they said is so powerful. When Christ is at the center, making a difference in people's lives is just going to be a byproduct of that. And so I really want us to slow down, like Tiffany said, and think about who is it that we need to listen to? Who is it that we need to pay attention to this week that we could make a difference in their life with the love of Jesus? And so, man, we'll see you guys next time on the One More Thought podcast. We love you. We're praying for you, and have a great week.